Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. And so in today's video, I am giving you guys my review on the Nothing Phone 1, and I'll try not to ramble so much and just be straight to the point. I'll try my best. Anyways, yeah, so the Nothing Phone 1, I've been using it for a good amount of time since getting it, and right now I'm ready to tell you guys my thoughts on all aspects of the phone. Before I do that, though, if you guys want to do me a solid and smash the like button, I would truly appreciate that. It helps me out. And if you're watching this video, first time to my channel, and you decided to subscribe, thanks for doing that. Really appreciate it. Turn on notifications so you guys don't miss an upload or when I go live. And in the description and right here on the screen is my promo code. If you guys want to try out Helium Mobile, use my promo code, and that will get you guys your first month for free to try them out. Startup service on a plan that's unlimited talk, text, and some data for 20 bucks a month. Definitely look at the Helium Mobile website to know how their plan offering is. And then again, use my promo code when signing up. That'll get you guys your first month for free. But before, now that we got those out the way, let's get into the video. Let me tell you guys about the Nothing Phone 1. All right, so the Nothing Phone 1 was my Christmas gift from my family to me. So you guys let me know what you guys got for Christmas in the comment section of the video, since this is the day after Christmas. But this was my Christmas gift along with the CMF Watch Pro, and I will do a separate video on the Watch Pro later on. But for the Nothing Phone 1, it's got a lot going for it. And for a phone that is the entry phone into the mobile phone, competition, race, whatever you want to call it, I think that Nothing did a really, really good job. So the first thing I kind of want to focus on is the fact that, yes, it does have a 700 series chip from Qualcomm. It is using the Snapdragon 778G chip. Okay, and it's a capable chip for the things that I do on my phone, like editing video. It's able to handle it, and I do most of my editing on my phone because I'm always on, like, out and about, so I have to get things done. So I can't stay at my PC and edit video here. So I take it on the fly, and I use apps like YouTube Create and CapCut, and anything that I put into the video transitions and all that other stuff, and it's rendering the video, and it renders just fine. It's not super fast rendering, but of course I understand it's a mid-range chip in here, so there's only so much of the processing power that it's able to do. And I'm pretty sure that with the second version of the Nothing, so the Nothing Phone 2, pretty sure that has, like, what, the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1, so a lot faster in video processing. I'm going to guesstimate because when I buy that phone and I use it and I could do a review on it, I can tell you guys. But for right now, I'm using the Nothing Phone 1. And, for a guy who has, really been a big fan, and I still am a big fan of Google Pixel phones, this really wowed me on just all the things that it's able to handle that I do with my smartphone on a daily basis. So it having a 700 series processor chip is not detrimental in my eyes. It's very, very smooth, which, leads to the next thing: software and user interface, the fluidity of it. It is well optimized. I can tell you guys just right off the fly that Nothing really did pay attention to just what they wanted to present to the world, in showing that they are serious contenders in the smartphone game, and that they're here to really just continue on and build and bring us something that, we can be pleasantly surprised with at every turn of the events of the phone. So right now it is running NOS. I call it NOS, NOS, or Nothing OS 3.0, which is Android 15 based. And for the Nothing Phone 1, this will probably be the last major software upgrade that it's going to get, as it's pretty much on that, 3 software updates and then 5 years of security patches, roughly, just about. So from this point going forward, this phone will just get, like, security patch updates. But it is on Android 15, and it is doing just fine. And it's supposed to be beta, but it doesn't feel like beta software. I haven't had any issues, glitches, or any of that type of stuff. All components of it is working just fine: camera, audio, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi. So I'm not experiencing any issues there at all whatsoever with the beta software. But I can tell you guys that, as far as the fluidity, it is smooth. It doesn't feel like a mid-range at all whatsoever. Like, I'm not seeing that type of mid-range, behavior out of just the way that the software is so fluid. So, Nothing did a great job there when it comes to software fluidity and making sure that, when you're using the device, that, it is giving you the best experience possible. And I can appreciate them for taking time to focus on those little things. Aside from the software fluidity, one of the big things that I really like about the Nothing Phone 1 is the cameras. And, so the cameras, I give it an 8 out of 10 on some reasons. So, like, still photography is awesome. And I do love the fact that you do have, like, what I call PAS, which is point and shoot. So you can just open your camera app, point and shoot, take a photo, but you also have expert mode where you can play around with, the ISOs, white balance, the focus, the shutter time, shutter speed. And you can really get in there for those that are very deep core photographers. When it comes to still photography, the only problem I've really had with the camera is, if I'm taking a photo of, say, of like my son, and he happens to move at the moment that I hit the shutter button to take the photo, his hand or whatever he moved will be blurry. And even with post processing, it cannot fix that type of blur. So then, I just have to reshoot the photo. That's probably the only thing which, like, with Google Pixels, I'm spoiled to the cameras on these because you can snap a photo, someone can kind of move their elbow or move their hand, and, it takes multiple still shots to pretty much, like, get like a really good photo out of it where there's no blur. And maybe in the Nothing Phone 2, that's the type of, you know, what they have in their camera app for that phone, may have corrected that issue. But that's probably like one big problem that I have with photography from the Nothing Phone 1. Other than that, point and shoot in regular PAS or in expert mode, and the photos come out pretty good. I've posted photos on Instagram and on X comparing, a PAS photo versus an expert mode photo, and let people pretty much tell me what they think about it. And so, yeah, the main camera sensors, they do fairly good. The selfie cam does pretty good too. With low light, it does fine. So for me, who likes to take photos of family and stuff like that, I have no problem there. It's working out just great. When it comes to video recording, it does pretty good too in video recording. And I think like the biggest problem for me, which is just, this is just for me, okay? So like, being a content creator, sometimes I want to use my phone and record a video, and I want to use like one of my earbuds as a Bluetooth microphone, and this does not support that. So the only way you can actually have like an external mic for video recording is a wired connection using a 3.5 to Type-C dongle plugged in, and then you can use the microphone on like wireless, not wireless, but wired earbuds or headphones. But using Bluetooth, and it won't do that. Now, if you're taking a phone call, the Bluetooth earbuds, the microphone will be used for your phone conversation. You can even do it on the watch, which is for another video. But, video recording, it doesn't have that. So not a deal breaker for me, but, it would be nice to have. So that's the reason why that I give the cameras an 8 out of 10. Other than that, what I need out of the cameras, it pretty much provides. The battery life on this, it lasts a pretty decent amount of time, I will tell you guys. If I'm just doing social media, my regular stuff, I can pretty much get from like the moment I wake up in the morning until I'm going to bed on a single charge. It's when I'm like either doing, content creating using the phone for recording video, taking a lot of photos, and then, watching a lot of content. And I'll probably have to top it up midway, not midway, but, like maybe 3/4 of the way through my day. And so this is not a brand new unit outside, like out of the box. Okay, so I don't know how the previous owner before me stressed the battery out before um, having my wife pick it up and gift it to me. So I can't tell you guys, like, they could have like, done a lot of no-nos when it comes to battery charging, and could have really depleted the battery life as far as like the battery cell itself. Or, if they were like a stickler for charging it the right way to prolong the life of the battery cell. I don't know. So yeah, that's probably one thing that I can't give you an accurate, measurement on, is how well the battery is, just because I didn't have this phone since day one out of the box. But this, for the battery life that I'm getting right now, that's all I can tell you guys. When it comes to software support, this has basically Android 15 on it right now. It does have what I call NOS 3.0 or Nothing OS 3.0, which is based on Android 15. However, this is probably the last software upgrade it's going to get. Nothing is, like I said, they're new into the market, so they're not able to guarantee people 5 years of software support or 7 years of software support. 3 years is 3 software upgrades is what they're able to give currently at this time, and 5 years of security patch software support. But again, this is nothing. So, they could put Android 16 on this if they wanted to. It's really at their discretion if they're going to continue support for the device. And I think, one of the ways that they can basically, show people that, in good faith is if they surprise everyone and put Android 16 on this and keep it, supported for at least another Android update. That's what I would say, But hey, I also understand too that they want to primarily focus on, building a better phone, and so the Nothing Phone 3 is coming or is out by now. I think it's coming, but the Nothing Phone 2 is already out. The 2A is their mid-range device that people love, and the Nothing Phone 1 is a mid-ranger that kind of sits in that category with the Nothing Phone 2A, in my opinion. So software support, you have to take that in consideration. So if you're looking and interested in a Nothing Phone device, I would say the 2A or the Nothing Phone 2 would be something that I would recommend people kind of like targeting for, because they still have a lot longer in software support than the Nothing Phone 1. But if you absolutely want to have the first gen in your collection of devices, if you collect phones, then yeah, grab it. I mean, there is those that's in like XDA that are continuing support with custom ROMs to keep the Nothing Phone 1 to keep its life going. So you can expect a good dev community behind this device. I'm just saying. Audio on it is, kind of like, it's odd. It's probably the one thing I don't like about the Nothing Phone 1 is the type of speaker that they put in it. I've gotten better audio out of my Pixel 8a, and I'm a Pixel 6 than I get out of this when watching videos. It just feels like it's one of those things where like the speaker is a little squawk boxy with a little bit of like a muffled sound. So like, the bass, the clarity and all that is not what I'm used to. That's just me, okay? So other people might think the audios are great on this, and that's totally fine. I'm not going to say, oh, they're wrong and I'm right. It's not a right or wrong case. It's just preference. And I would prefer better speaker drivers. However, it is loud enough for me to hear music. It is loud enough for me to hear my speaker phone calls, so it will get the job done. And maybe they use better speaker drivers in the Nothing Phone 2 or in the Nothing Phone 3. I have to grab those devices, which, this phone is so good that it has me intrigued that I want to upgrade to those other devices that are out, that came out after this, to see how Nothing has progressed over time. So you guys can be expecting those phones to end up in my possession in the future. Lastly, this is not a phone that's sold in the US. So because of that very reason, it is not fully compatible with the carriers here. Now, I can tell you guys on the T-Mobile side, Metro by T-Mobile, which is what I'm using, it works fine. 5G connection, good. Band support, good. On AT&T, it was able to connect to N77, 5G connection. It was good. It was connected to 5G plus. So it was fine on AT&T and T-Mobile. Verizon, it's very weird because if I put it on the top, so the SIM tray has a top and bottom. You can actually run 2 physical SIM cards in this device, which I think is pretty damn cool. And it's in DS mode. So there's no eSIM. But when I put the Verizon SIM on the bottom tray, it connects to, I guess, their low band 5G, which is not really their 5G. It's still LTE. I classify it as LTE. So with Verizon, you only connect to LTE. You don't get 5G support on Verizon. And even trying to whitelist it hasn't worked out. So when I run Mobile X, if I run Visible, if I run Total, if I run Straight Talk Verizon, if I run US Mobile, and if I run Direct Verizon, it will all be LTE connection on this device. Now, Verizon's LTE is pretty good, so speed-wise and network quality, you're fine. You're able to do your things. You're able to live stream from it if you want to. But for those people who are sticklers for 5G, that may be something that you would say is a caveat. So just know that T-Mobile and AT&T works in this device. This is not US sold, so if you find one for sale in the US market, you might want to go for it if that's what you want. I know they did open up a beta window where they did sell it in the US, but it's still not considered a device that's sold in the US. Okay, so you have to keep that in mind as far as carrier support. But overall, the Nothing Phone 1 has brought an experience that I did not expect to have with that device, considering the specifications and what I've been hearing, since before being interested in picking one up. It is a really, really good experience. the glyphs and everything. You guys know I didn't talk about that. It's because it's a gimmicky feature in my opinion. It's not something that, it's a must have and every other company needs to do the same thing. This is something that makes the phone unique, and I appreciate the feature of the glyph lights and what you can use them for. But that's just, that's me. So the overall experience of the Nothing Phone 1 for me has been very solid. And so for, out of 10, if I had to give it a rating out of 10, it's going to be an 8.5 out of 10. That is my official rating of the phone. If I had to give it a rating, just me personally, someone who's like always been very interested in mobile technology and in mobile phones, smartphones, currently today, feature phones and flip phones from way back in the day. I can tell you guys that this has been one of those phones that has pleasantly surprised me and has really just been a very good palate cleanser for me. Being away from using, Pixels as my main daily driver or iPhone as my main daily driver. And that's why it's still my daily driver. I don't have plans to take out my SIM card and put it back into another phone. This will stay my phone. I really like using it. And I think, other people would enjoy it too, which is why it's a phone that I do recommend people give it a shot. But that's just, my review on the Nothing Phone 1, and just straightforward to you guys. So if you guys enjoyed today's video, like I said, smash the like button because it does help out. If you subscribed, thanks for doing so. We really appreciate that. And yeah, again, in the description is my promo to get you your first month free on Helium Mobile. Take advantage of that. But until then, I'm going to go chill out and relax and talk to you on the next one. As always, aloha.